Welcome to Crossroad Connection. We're speaking out for those who are left unheard. My name is David Schuringa, and we're excited to be able to present to you another special edition of Crossroad Connection, now here on Web TV, right here at our website. I have a special guest in the studio with me today, Cynthia Williams. Now, you might remember she was here just a few weeks ago before her trip to Sierra Leone. And now, welcome back, Cynthia.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
It was a long trip, and
Yes.
we're excited to hear a lot about it. And you're going to be, in a few weeks, providing a special lecture on this, and also we'll be writing about it in our newsletters. But I thought, I'm sure that the folks would love to hear about it firsthand, as you are just off the airplane, right?
That's right. Yes.
So you headed off, and that's a long trip.
It is all the way to Sierra Leone, Africa, which is in West Africa, so it does take a while to get there.
And you stopped in Great Britain, in England, in London.
That's right.
Prior there, because that's part of it. And were you able to, on the way there or back, talk with our director there?
That's right. I had a layover, which allowed me the opportunity to connect with Matt Savage, who is our director in the UK, and discuss how the ministry is going. It was a great time to just get caught up on how things are going there, which is very well.
Yes, I want to get to Sierra Leone because that was the purpose of the trip. But you found how many churches, how many prisons now are the Christians there getting into?
We have expanded into approximately 50 of the prisons in the
Really?
In the United Kingdom, yes.
United Kingdom is Great Britain, it's England, it's Ireland. We're in all of those places.
Right. Yeah.
So 50 things. So that's a story in and of itself.
That's
And also, just briefly, didn't Matthew and his wife just have a baby?
They did, yes. God has blessed them with little Molly, and we're all very excited for them.
Let's get on the plane and let's get to Sierra Leone. Is it sort of like landing at O'Hare International and stuff when you go to Sierra Leone?
Well, not quite. They have an approach that actually is on the other side of the city of Freetown, so it requires a little ferry ride to get to the city once you get to the airport. But it was great, and I received a very warm welcome from Lahai Kargbo, our satellite campus director there. And it was just a blessing to be there.
Now, the purpose of your trip was this would be an official launch
That's right.
of this satellite campus. This is what, the 9th or 10th country in Africa now that we have them?
Yeah,
And Sierra Leone,
growing.
it's growing like crazy. And so you had an official launch. What does that mean?
Well, we take an emerging or a developing satellite campus to that point where we can say this is an official satellite campus that has viability, that we see being able to go ahead into the future. This means that they have students completing lessons and are moving through the first course. And there's a well-established program with all of the partnership requirements in place.
So our viewers and our supporters can know that we don't call it a satellite campus or a new ministry center just because someone says, oh, let's do it over here.
No.
It takes a couple of years to,
It can.
we have to vet an indigenous director. We have to get materials there. We have to teach them exactly how to do the program. And then we actually wait until there are students in the prisons who are actually completing the lessons and instructors who are trained in actually correcting the lessons. So,
That's right.
we make sure it's a viable thing, humanly speaking.
Yes, it is very important to go through all of that so that we don't get into a situation where perhaps the program or the process of it is not going to work.
Also, I'm sure that our supporters would be really interested in knowing, and that is we provide the program free of charge, and it does cost us thousands of dollars, but we do not provide them with cash. We do not send them money. Also, we do not send North Americans over there to run it for them, right?
That's right. Yes.
And so this is truly an indigenous thing, and that's done in principle by us because we believe in the history of missions, the strongest organizations and churches are those that the indigenous persons, they themselves run and take responsibility for Can you verify that based on your own mission experience?
Yes, that is so true. Very, very good model of ministry that is most effective. And we see that these satellite campus directors and their teams and the local churches really then own the ministry, which gives it that strength, that viability, that ability
A
to
sense of
continue
pride
on.
without
That's right.
entitlement, independence,
That's right.
and all the rest. At the official launch, you spoke on behalf of CBI, on behalf of me. You gave some things. What did you made an official presentation of some sorts too, didn't you?
We did. It was a wonderful time where we gathered, and I was able to actually present the CBI ministry as a whole, and especially give them a sense of the global impact of the ministry. Then we went into a time where we presented the plaque that we had brought along and presented words that you had sent along to them. We had a time of prayer for our satellite campus director and our team there, and just really brought the Lord's presence, focus, and power into this new satellite campus. And
So CBI reps were there, prison officials were there, church officials. So this was a true community embracing of CBI's ministry.
key individuals who will really support Lehigh in the ministry were present. Several gave presentations or speeches themselves, participating, assuring him of their support. So it was just a wonderful time.
Did you get to any of the prisons?
I did. I was very privileged to join Lehigh and his team as they went in to minister on Sunday in the King Tom juvenile prison. So these are for juveniles.
Really?
And
What kind of ages are we talking about?
13 to 18. Once they turn 18,
They incarcerate them
yes,
13 to 18.
Yeah, that's right. And once they turn 18, they must go into the adult prison. So this is kind of a key time to really reach them.
And you got to speak to them?
Yes, I had a time to give them a message, to meet each one individually and shake their hands. Many of them were our CBI students, and I could tell because they had their CBI Bibles with them.
No
And
kidding.
it was just a most wonderful experience. They were singing and in that very African worship fashion, which is such a blessing to see. And then we went into a prayer time where many of them prayed, and then I was able to give the message. But there was just a sense of God's presence there among these boys, many of whom are orphans of the Civil War there. Many of them are street children. In fact, probably the greatest percentage of them are. So there's a great need for them to experience what the Lord can do in their lives, and now through the CBI program.
So those that are aware of CBI and its worldwide ministry, those who are correcting the Bible study lessons as instructors and so forth, they can look at those lessons and they can say these are also being filled out and used to study by teenagers incarcerated in Sierra Leone.
That's right.
Teenagers who are homeless, teenagers who don't have much hope, but they're getting the same program with instructors who are writing letters to them. Wow, what a trip you had.
It was amazing, and just to be able to, it was threefold. We had the opportunity, of course, of launching the ministry, of providing training for our new team there and our new director. But most importantly for me, it was a time to gather information to truly understand this wonderful country that we're working with and the people that we're working with, so that we can be most effective in supporting them in this prison ministry that is just quite amazing. We are not only in the juvenile prisons, but we're also in the main men's prison there, the Pademba prison, as well as the women's prison. And those are prisons that really they exhibit the same kind of living environments that we hear in a lot of the African prisons. And so the thought of bringing God's hope into those very, very dismal and difficult conditions is really
right.
amazing.
We could do another program, and probably should
Yeah.
sometime, on the prison conditions in the developing world. But we know that our own prison system is not perfect. But what I tell folks is that despite the problems that we have and some injustices and difficulties, if you got to go to prison, you want it to be in the United States,
That's right.
not in the developing world, if at all possible.
That's right.
But that's another show. Any final thoughts before we close off?
Well, I just think that it is such a great privilege. I think the thing that impacted me the most was that we get to partner with these individuals who are so passionate about prison ministry in their countries. Lahai has, our director there, has given his entire life to serve Christ there in the prisons. It's a very unique thing that he is doing. He's gathered a team that work with him, and they're all about reaching people for Christ in prisons. So when we meet with somebody like that and connect with them and then form a partnership, it is a shared heart and vision that just has unending possibilities.
Well, Cynthia, thank you so much for being with us today on Crossroad Connection.
Thank you.
You're doing just a terrific job there, and Crossroad is very blessed to have you. We've been talking with Cynthia Williams, who is the Deputy Director for International Development here at Crossroad Bible Institute. We hope that you'll join us again next week for another exciting program right here.